And on to the WWE side of things for this week. Clearly focused around the idea of a new King of the Ring tournament for 2010. Haven't seen a King of the Ring tournament in 2 years. King of the Ring tournament, I am finding, just comes to be disappointing anymore. Usually we always see a heel win it, which was no different come this year. Uh, a week based around royalty, as Raw and Smackdown last week both had qualifying matches for the King of the Ring tournament. Last week's episode of mine, I focused on the Raw side. Obviously not the SmackDown side because it hadn't happened yet. SmackDown this last week, we saw Alberto Del Rio defeat Big Show via countout. Very disappointing ending. But quite frankly, a countout's the only way anybody can see Alberto Del Rio beating the Big Show anytime soon. Alberto Del Rio annoys the crap out of me. So obviously, it intrigues. Because, somebody who, like me, who watches us and studies Alberto Del Rio matches, just looks for a way, like, won't somebody shut him up? Yeah, he always wins. That match did, however, end in Big Show using his knockout punch on Alberto Del Rio's ring announcer, who's almost equally as annoying. Which, come Raw last Monday, the guy was sporting a nice little black eye thanks to the Big Show right hand. That made me laugh. And also saw Dashing Cody Rhodes beating Rey Mysterio as a result of Del Rio interference, which I will come back to in a minute. Saw Drew McIntyre defeating MVP in a pretty decent match, actually, on SmackDown. Drew McIntyre found a spot on MVP to work on, and it cost MVP the match. I think it was his shoulder was having problems, and it ended in that double arm DDT of McIntyre's. McIntyre advances into the tournament. And then it also showed Kofi Kingston in an outstanding match against Jack Swagger. Kofi Kingston being the victor. Kofi Kingston was in the King of the Ring tournament as well. SmackDown also saw Edge taking on Kane, or not taking on, he was doing his shenanigans with Paul Bear again, and Kane coming out claiming he's a human and Edge is a monster. Edge and Kane, their rivalry is a result of, Undertaker got hurt again, so what are we going to do with Kane now that he's still world champion? Hey, let's have him go against Edge. It's a bunch of last-minute decisions, and I'm thinking they're still trying to figure out what exactly they want to do. So now they're doing this whole spiel with Paul Bear, and Edge is having him hostage, and, now he's got a match at Tables, Ladders, and Chairs, the next WWE pay-per-view against Kane for a world title. Come this Friday, we'll find out what the match stipulation of the match is, as Edge and Kane will be facing each other this Friday on SmackDown. The winner gets to choose a stipulation for their match at the next pay-per-view. Once again, disappointing. The ending was pretty hilarious, actually. It showed Edge having Paul Bear in a wheelchair saying, "Kane, come get him." Kane comes and gets him. All that we see is Paul Bear in his wheelchair when Kane's coming over there, and that wheelchair gets hit by a car, and what looked to be Paul Bear's body went everywhere. Of course, it was just a dummy, as that car was driven by Edge, which had Paul Bear in the back seat. Kind of entertaining to watch, yet kind of useless for a wrestling storyline, in my opinion. But, it's a time killer, and it's something different. So let's see what we're going to do now to promote the Edge-Kane rivalry. Compared to the main storylines on Raw, it's kind of disappointing. Come TLC, maybe we'll see a new champion. Obviously this is also to promote Edge. Kane's finally gotten his push in WWE. Now Edge is starting to work to get that push of his once again. Should be, both men have the caliber of putting on a good match. Should be a decent match no matter what kind of match it is at the Tables, Ladders, and Chairs pay-per-view. I guess tune in this Friday. We'll see together what kind of match they're going to be facing in come TLC.